Bradley, why
You
don't you
should
tell
meet yourself
us?
again.
Shut up, they don't know. Why don't you tell us about a little game you've been playing?
Yes. So, a game I've waited for a very long time for came out this week. It is called Minoria. It is a spiritual successor to a series of games called Momodora. Um, I waited for it for a very long time because Momodora 4 is one of my favorite games.
I
Uh,
played it and I talked about it on the podcast even.
yes, we have visited it here on the podcast before. Minoria came out last night. I stayed up pretty much all night playing it. It's a lot of fun. So I kind of want to talk about what it does well to. I think I need to talk about what it does well as a spiritual successor and what it does not do well, because there are things that I could be happier with.
I got one question before we begin. Did you
Yeah.
beat it? Because I know Momodora is really short.
I did not beat it, but I speculate I'm near the end just
Okay,
because of where the story in it is at right now, and
sure,
also Momodora is like a 4 to 6 hour game, and people have been saying this is like a 7 to 8 hour game, so like I should be near the end.
gotcha.
So like the biggest difference between this and the Momodora games is it has a much more hands-on approach to story. Like there's there's a lot more named characters. There's actual cutscenes, which there were like cutscenes in quotation marks with my hands. In Momodora, this is like fully fledged. Like they're actually trying to tell a story here, which like the Momodora games had a story, but it was mostly something you'd only get like if you read all the item descriptions across like the four games and were like paying attention to what enemies look like stuff from other games, which is a fun way to do it. But I think they just wanted to be more hands on in this game. So as far as what it does good as a spiritual successor, Momodora 4, Reverie Under the Moonlight, to I guess clarify, it's kind of more of a Super Nintendo era Metroidvania,
Yeah,
which is good because that era had really good Metroidvanias, I think, or generally good, I
it
think.
was. I'd say it was simplistic but charming, with some cool builds you can make to differentiate your playstyle, and
Yeah,
pretty well designed bosses.
yeah. So Momodora 4, it's really short, pretty simple. You kind of have like one set of melee attacks, and you have a bow. Most of the variety of the game would be from equipping different item combinations. Minoria wanted to kind of bring us into the modern day a little bit more. Um, Different weapons have different move sets. You can parry. There's a lot more different spells that, in some ways, kind of functions like a much more simplified version of the like spirits from Bloodstained.
Ooh,
Um, but
fun.
I mean, much more simplified. Don't get me wrong. Uh, I do like it. It's kind of fun. There's a lot of Easter eggs to the old series. Like one of the most iconic bosses in Momodora is Pardoner Finnell. She's this nun with a red sword who does these spin slashes and has lightning.
She was dope. One of the harder bosses too.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun. And near the beginning of this game, if you own Momodora 4, then you can get her sword and use her moves, which is fucking awesome. And it's even more fun because in this game you play as a nun, like Pardinal, Pardoner Finnell.
That's cool
So
because I guess that means there's just more moves to do in general. Because the one like big combat complaint with Momodora is that you have like one basic combo and your arrows, and then you just have to apply modifiers to those.
yeah, and it's even more cool because like they also added they also added more stuff to the enemies, like there's stagger gauges as opposed to like just health gauges. So there's like more to keep your eye on. There's like a leveling system which Momodora 4 did not have. Um,
Okay, this is getting very Igavania now.
yeah,
With the
and
Igarashi Castlevanias.
the thing that I thought was really interesting is it has one of the elements that also like extremely impressed me from Bloodstained, where the movement options you get from different weapons can really change where you can go, because there's like one really like long horizontal room in this game, and there's a platform near the end of it that would take you to the next room immediately, but you can't normally reach it. But after you clear that room for the first time, soon after you can get a weapon that allows you to do like an kind of upward spin slash,
Hmm.
and it then lets you jump high enough to get on that platform. So the first time you go through that room, you have to do it the normal way, but every subsequent time, as long as you have that weapon equipped, you can basically just skip the room, which I'd really like. So yeah, that's kind of a lot of the things that it did to make the series more modern as a spiritual successor. I will say, and I've seen this sentiment echoed a lot of other places, visually, frankly, I don't think this game looks as good as the past one, as the last one.
I haven't seen it in motion, but the screenshots have seemed okay. But I guess Momodora 4 was just so good looking.
Yeah,
It looked
I
very
think
cute.
I think the key here is that Momodora's 4's like pixel art animations were extremely fluid, but this game the animations are like very rigid. Like the characters move very much like stick figures. So
I feel like you particularly have a dislike for that because I remember showing you Odin Sphere, which is a everyone knows Odin Sphere is a beautiful game, but brother's like, ugh,
yeah,
animation. So yeah, this maybe it's like one of those style of animations.
yeah. I like the art style itself. I do love the art style, and even Igarashi, who makes these Igavanias, he said he loved the art style. So I guess there's that endorsement. But yeah, I mean, I still love the game. I bought it on every available platform as soon as I could, and I will.
What's it out on and how much?
It is on Steam right now, and on it's going to be releasing on Nintendo Switch. And I didn't even look at how much it cost because I was going to buy it regardless.
Cool.
But it is fun. I'm going to continue to buy Bomb Services games because they make bomb games, and they're
Allow me to check it out
yeah.
some night this week. Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
No, no, no.